Time to go to Luxor. This has been an amazing trip so far. Last night we had an amazing presentation and meditation with Matthias Di Stefano. And yesterday we went to Saqqara, and we had the kickoff event the night before, which also was really good. Great to meet everyone. This is the biggest group we've had in a long time, actually ever. But now we're on to Luxor. It's time to get on the boat and experience the Nile in the whole area of what is called Upper Egypt. We're in Lower Egypt right now, but Upper Egypt is the southern part of Egypt, by Luxor and Aswan, and going to Abu Simbel. It's going to be an amazing trip. I'd always done it in the way of a voyeur. I could go in and see it and tell you about it. And after I went to the Great Pyramid the first time in 2017, I've always had this crazy ability to see the future. This has always been the case.
We're going to the Temple of Vendetta, Hathor. I see some light bulbs and stairs and cats.
Wow, we are having such a lovely journey and so much intensity, what we are sharing all together. And Robert told us this story when he came with his awakening, and wow.
off to Abydos.
Woohoo! Let's go!
So this place is the masculine side of where we were last night. We're on the other side of the Nile, but the same level of the Nile.
Okay.
And this is the temple of Osiris. It's called the Osirian at Abydos.
It's 4:43 in the morning.
I've done it so many times.
What a way to start the day.
We're gonna go on a balloon ride this morning.
Excellent, can't wait.
Have you ever been before?
Nope, I'm actually have a fear of open heights.
Well, you're gonna overcome your fears today.
Totally, and we're unwinding that. Yes.
How did you like that, Ethan?
Epic.
We're going to the Valley of the Kings. It's a place where all the pharaonic, leaders and the queens and everything all came to be buried. And so it's not like any pyramid. This is where the tombs were. This is the actual tombs. This is the conscious world, what I'm conscious of. And I create my personality by deciding what I'm not. So I say, I'm not this, and then as soon as I see that thing that I'm not, I say, I'm not that, and he is that. So that creates separation from us, right? I'm not arrogant, he is arrogant. Because he felt shame, or she felt shame because he was arrogant, he now notices arrogance in everyone else. When you're vibrating at the frequency of arrogance, you only see arrogance. When you're vibrating at this frequency of humility, you only see humility. The universe around us becomes a magnifier for whatever emotional state we have internally.
Okay, now we're going into the tomb of Ramses IX.
We're going to Ramses III.
He gave a good word for it.
Yeah.
He seeks to understand, not to judge.
Yeah. Is that the discernment? I'll find the English.
But discernment, I don't really like that word. The reason I don't like discernment is because discernment is just another form of judgment. And everyone uses the term discernment. It's like they say, I'm not judging, but I'm discerning. It's the same fucking thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's the same thing.
It was fantastic. It was very interesting. Different tombs, different kings, but it's spectacular. It's very deep and fascinating. There's just a lot of colors. It was very colorful, which I didn't expect, because majority of other temples, they didn't have color. But Robert said that they actually, at the beginning, they all started with colors. So it was interesting to see that. And we only visited 3, but as we've been told, out of 64 tombs that they found, only 9 are open for visitors. So I think that we did pretty well with visiting 3 of them. But yeah, it's cool.
John, how did you enjoy that? Valley of the Kings?
It was fine. It was interesting. They're all interesting, I think. Some more so than others, of course, but it was great.
Nice. There you have it. You ready for dinner?
hospital here. Most of the ancient sites, they built next to it a hospital. Sometimes it is not downtown, it is not the center of the city, it's not an area with big population. So people who built hospitals here, they understood this information, that there is so much healing energy and it helps to cure the patients, to accelerate the result, okay? So what is the story here? This is a giant quarry of rose granite. And this is the proper way to say the name of the rose granite of Aswan. Because we have here in Egypt rose granite from Sinai, in Colorado there is rose granite in some other places, but it's not like this. What is the big difference? This granite contains between 20 and 60% quartz, okay? This is the highest level or percentage of quartz. All the other amounts, maximum 13%. So the target is not hard material only, because they could go to what we call a diorite. We have quarries of diorite harder than granite, but it doesn't contain quartz. So that is the target. From here, this direction, they cut an obelisk. We can see the base of the obelisk from there. It was cut from the back side, and here was the top of the obelisk. We assume this one is the one we will see later in Karnak temple because of the size. 28 meters long, 28 one piece. This we will walk up slowly, but please be careful because it is not slippery, but granite is very sharp. If you fell, it will not be okay. So this piece was connected to that piece. You will see it later. They were one day, one piece. We are almost 12,000 tour guides. And 12,000 tour guides, let's say we have at least 1 to 200 tour guides, they come here every day. And they all do this performance. They hold this dolorite stone and they try to show to their groups how they cut granite in ancient days. Like this. Do you have time? So we managed 12,000 tour guides after 20 years to cut this piece. By doing this every day, every minute, from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the evening. Okay? But maybe I'm not doing this right, according also to mainstream, because it must be faster. Nothing.
Twist your head.
Still nothing.
One more time.
Okay? but they say, no. This is the material, yes, but not the right size. The other one's supposed to be huge. In this case, I can tell you, the workers, one wrong bounce will lose leg or face or arm or something, because this is very, very hard stone. And that is not a solution to explain the perfect angles, the straight walls, the curvy angles. Okay, this can smash the stone. But when we go up to the obelisk, we will see a scoop mark, as if granite was in the state of being soft and with a giant spoon. So in many
Technical
places,
problems, sorry.
Thank you.
in many places we see the tool mark, and that tool mark because of the diamond blade. Okay, this saw. But here, this is the only place we know that they used a kind of technology, but what exactly we don't know. Why we don't know? Because we don't have the same tool doing the same effect. How we know, like, imagine if they invented a new gun, doctors will spend some time to understand the effect of the new gun. Okay, so that is the same thing. Most of the tool marks we see in the ancient sites, and I'll make sure to show you some tomorrow, after tomorrow at Karnak. These cuts we know what is the tool, because we know the tool mark from previous cases, okay? And also in modern days. But the tool mark I'm going to show you soon, we don't have any equivalent.
we realized, because it's like the only site that we've seen these particular scoop marks so far, and it really kind of illustrates like a missing piece to the puzzle. Like we've seen a lot of the finished stuff, but we haven't seen like the in the process of it. So this kind of is a illustration of how they made the pyramids. You know, they really crafted each block so meticulously, but we don't know how they transported it or like what made those particular scoop marks. And like, I'm dying to figure out what these tools are that they had, and where are the tools now. I like how Mohammed Ibrahim, our tour guide, said that he thinks maybe there was a way that they changed the frequency of the granite so that, to make it more like liquid or malleable, whatever, less solid, and then they just like scooped away what they didn't want. That's amazing. Just think like you could shape granite almost like pottery, you know, like clay. That's something that I never even thought about. Like they changed the vibration and the frequency, and like, which ultimately is changing the molecular structure, and then they placed it back where they wanted it and then solidified it. Like, that's cool.
Okay, we just arrived at the dock. We're off to Philly Temple, which is on an island, so we got to get on some boats. And it's about a 10-minute boat ride, and we should be there.
This is different than this, okay? Not related, but here they say the truth. This man has this kind of energy, levitating the jar. So the jar even doesn't touch the hand. So this one there is regular representation. This one here, he knew about it. He was recording a certain action or certain activation happened at that time.
Okay, next site is Karnak Temple.
Beyond. Yes. I just heard it's the biggest temple in the world. The whole world. Wow, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, you've been there before, right? So this is Sekhmet. Sekhmet was by a French. It was all the pieces of it were broken, and a French archaeologist, and who also had a big passion for like pottery and things like this. He put all the pieces back together of this.
Wow.
It was all broken into small pieces. It took him 30 years to reconstruct it.
Oh, wow.
And when he reconstructed it, they put it here in this temple at the top.
Okay, welcome to the pyramids. Welcome to my land. I have been working here since more than 25 years. I know every inch in this place. You know, I have many movies on National Geographic, History Channel, Netflix, Discovery channels. It's about our recent discoveries. I'm always saying in my lectures, if you can build a pyramid, you can do anything. Anything. You know, behind the third pyramid of the king Menkaura, I'm seeing Menkaura, not Mycerinus. I am seeing Efra, not Chefred. I am seeing Khufu, Khnum, Wafwi, not Cheops, because Cheops, Chefred, Mycerinus, just like Greek names. I don't like big names. I like ancient names. So behind the third pyramid of the king Menkaura, we had the quarry, the place where we get the blocks to build the pyramid. So the quarry was completely covered with sands, about 7 meters high of sands, 21 feet. So I went to our minister office, the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, asking him money for excavations. He said, Ashraf, you are going to clean 7 meters high of sand, nothing will be there. But I gotta believe there's something waiting for me there. I'm always trust my feelings. So after 4 months, I did convince the minister, and I got from him 100,000 Egyptian pounds. And we start doing excavations with 50 workers for more than 6 months for nothing. Everybody gets disappointed. I told my workers, my assistant, don't give up. Keep digging, keep moving more sand, because there is something waiting for us over there. So one day, I finished the work in the site. I went back to my office. By the way, my office nearby the Great Pyramid. One day, I will dig beneath my office, because I do believe there is something waiting for me beneath my office. Guess what? A month ago, I did demolish my office, and I started doing excavations. And until today, we did discover 20 new tombs beneath my old office.
Wow.
And beneath my old bathroom, we found painted limestone statue for an architect and his wife and his son. And the statue is going to be displayed in the new Grand Museum. One of my babies will be displayed in the new Grand Museum, because each discovery for me, it's like a new baby. By the way, I have a mommy as a girlfriend. I did discover her in 2007. In 2007, I discovered the mommy, and I took her as my girlfriend. It was a smart choice. She's not asking for money. Never took too much. Always listening to me. So the whole family will be displayed in the new Grand Museum. The mommy, the babies will be in the new Grand Museum. So I went back to my office. So the chief of the workers, he came to my office and told me, doctor, you have to come back again because we found something in the site. I got my pickup truck. I went back to the site. I looked in the ground. Oh my gosh, there's something coming. It's a hole. I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We move the sands, guess what? We found an entrance. We move more sands, we found a passage. We move more sands, we found an opening chamber. And inside the chamber, we found 2 false doors. One of the doors was inscribed in hieroglyphics. I can read and translate in hieroglyphics. We found the name of the owner of the tomb. She was a lady. Her name is Shepsiskawu. She was the high priestess of the goddess Hathor. And the second false door wasn't inscribed. But I guessed maybe it was for the husband. But because the lady was more important than her husband, she got an inscribed false door, and her husband got nothing. Fair enough.
And it still happens today.
Yeah, always happens. Always happens. So as archaeologists, we found false doors. Either we dig in front of false doors or we dig behind the false doors to go down to the burial chamber. So we decided to dig behind the false door for the lady. We found a deep shaft. It's about 10 meters deep, almost 30 feet. At the bottom we found a burial chamber, and the burial chamber was cut of rock. So I'm a big guy. I sent one of my assistants, a little guy. I told him, go down and have a look and tell me what there. So the guy, he went down, he moved 2 or 3 blocks, and he said, there is something there. I said, what? Put your head inside. I tell you what there. I get more excited. I want to know what there. So the guy, he moved more blocks. He went inside and said, you have to come down. There's something there. So I got a wooden ladder, and I went down. We went inside the burial chamber. Guess what? We found a skeleton. Oh my gosh, a skeleton for who? So what we did, we used DNA to date back the skeleton. It dates back for 4,600 years. That's it? No. We looked at the bones, the skeletons. We found a seal inscribed by the name of the high priestess, Shepsiskawu. What a great discovery to find a tomb for the high priestess of the goddess Hathor, Shepsiskawu. Then we decided to dig behind the false door for the poor husband. We found a deep shaft. It's about 7 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber, we found another skeleton. We used DNA to date by the skeleton. It dates back for 4,600 years, same time, but it was for male, not for female. This ensuring my theory. It was a family tomb for the high priestess, Shepsiskawu, and her husband. This in a movie, it's called The Lost Treasures of Egypt by Ashraf Mohideen and his assistants. I'm always saying excavations, it's a teamwork. It's not one person work. Success, it's a teamwork. I'm so proud that I have a group of Egyptologists and archaeologists and restorators and workers. We worked together and we did a great discoveries. That's it?
No.
No. That's the beginning. For the second time, I went to our minister's office, but this time I was totally busy because I was going to clean a mountain about 20 meters high of sands. In the Western Cemetery, we have until today thousands of tombs. We have Americans, Italian, Spanish, French, Japanese mission. They were doing excavation. They're removing their sands and debris from their own site, put it above another site. I'm a smart archaeologist. I was thinking, maybe they kept something for me beneath the sands. But the problem was, it was about 20 meters high of sands, 60 feet. So I spent more than 3 months trying to convince the minister to give me money for excavations. I told him, you tried me once, and I give you a discovery. I deserve another chance. After 4 months, I got from him 200,000 Egyptian pounds. And we start to dig, to do excavations for more than 8 months. For nothing. I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands, don't give up. Because I always believed there's something waiting for me beneath the sands. One day, we were moving the sands, we found a mud brick wall. Oh my gosh, something's coming up. I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands, we found a mud brick tomb. It's about 5 by 5 meters square. As archaeologists, when you found a mud brick tomb, it means a poor burial. Nothing much will be there. I told my assistant, don't judge until we go inside to see what will be there. So we found the entrance. We moved more sands. We found a passage. And guess what? The walls of the passage were painted with the beautiful scenes and beautiful colors. I never saw beautiful scenes like this. One of the scenes, it's my favorite scene. It's for a farmer. He's picking the fruits from a tree. and he put the fruits in a basket. One of the monkeys sneaking, he was stealing the basket of the fruits. So I created a new term. I called it Book of Life, because it's well known that the monkey always is stealing the fruits. It's like a photo. You got it from life. So when you hear the term Book of Life, you have to remember me. Copyrights from me. So it's a photo from life. That's it. No, we keep moving more scenes. We found more scenes. Another scene for a cow is giving birth, and one of the farmers sitting between the legs of the cow receiving her baby. It's another scene from a Book of Life. That's it. No. We keep moving more scenes.
How deep are we now?
It's very deep.
Put a little more passion into the story.
We keep moving more scenes. We found another beautiful scene for a lady sitting in front offering table, and on the table, guess what? The baguette, the French bread. We were before the French people by 4,600. We had the baguette before them. In 2018, I was guiding French First Lady Brigitte Macron in front of the Great Pyramid, and I told her, if you are so proud in France, you have wine dates back for a few hundred years. In Saqqara, we found wine dates back for 4,700 years. If you are so proud that you have a cheese in France dates back for a few hundred years, in Saqqara and in Giza, we found a cheese dates back for 4,700 years. If you are so proud that you have the baguette in France dates back for a few hundred years, we had the baguette in Giza and Saqqara dates back for 4,600 years. If you can build a pyramid, you can have wine, cheese, baguette before the French people. So we found a scene for a lady sitting in front offering a table, and on the table, the baguette? No, the ancient Egyptian bread. That's it? No! Keep moving more sand. Another scene for musician band. Some girls are dancing. One of the guys is playing harp, one of the ladies playing flute, and one of the dancers was a monkey. So we called it the monkey tomb, because we found many scenes for the monkey. For the third time, I went to our minister's office to ask him money for excavation, but this time I was insane, because behind the Sphinx is a mountain, and it goes about 60 meters high, 180 feet. So I want to clean this. You see, I'm going to clean a mountain about 180 feet. You're insane. I told him, I give you 2 discoveries. I deserve a third chance. So after 6 months, I did convince him, and I got 400,000 Egyptian pounds. And we start to work with 400 workers, and we start to clean the mountain from the top to the bottom. So we start to clean. You can guess for how long?
20 years.
20 years? 2 years?
No.
6 months. 6 months. 2 months. Only 1 week. Just one. I was so lucky. Only 1 week of work. We just cleaned the sands. We found an unfinished cut rock tomb. A tomb was cut of rock, and the door was sealed. When we found the sealed door, it means it's intact. Robbers do not touch it. So we opened the door. We went inside the burial chamber. We found 6 beautiful wooden coffins. We did open 5 coffins, and we found inside these coffins 5 mummies. I kept the 6th coffin away because I felt there's something special inside this coffin. So I was thinking, every time I was going to beg the minister to give me money for excavation, what if you had a contract with National Geographic to be as a sponsor? They can give us money for excavation, and we can do a live show to open this coffin in a live show. So amount of negotiations between me and National Geographic, at the end we get a contract for 60,000 American dollars to open this coffin in a live show. The question was, if there is nothing inside the coffin, what can happen to me? I'll be the coffin. So I did something funny. I left the cover for the show to have a look. I want to save the money for the excavation. So we left the cover and we looked inside. Oh, it's a beautiful mummy. Cover with sheets of gold. So I put the cover back and told everybody, hey guys, we are ready for our big live show. So we did open the coffin and live show, and it was the best live show. Everyone was happy. Me was happy with the money excavations, the minister, and I asked it, Nashraf guys, are you happy with covering? They said yes, but still not enough for a big movie. I told them we have to wait. It's just a week of work. The season at least about 6 or 8 months. So I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands for another month. We found remains of a limestone tomb. And inside the tomb we found 2 false doors. One of the doors for an architect. His name is Behenoui. He was the architect who did restoration for the complex of the Pyramid of Khufu, and the complex of the Pyramid of Khafra, and the complex of the Pyramid of Menkaura, and the complex of the Pyramid of Niwasira in Saqqara. And the second false door for his son, he got the same job. He was the architect who did restoration for the complex of Khufu, Khafra, Menkaura, and Niwasira. So I was kneeling like this, trying to read the hieroglyphics in the walls of the false doors. I felt there is something moving beneath my hand. It's a block moving. I moved the block, it's another moving block. I moved the second block, it's a third. Many blocks are moving. I moved all the blocks. Guess what? We found a hidden chamber covered with sands. We cleaned all the sands. We found painted limestone statue for the architect and his son and his wife. But there's something broke my heart. The head was missing. So I told the workers, nobody's going back to his house until we look in the sand and we'll find the head. We spent about 5 hours looking in the sands. At the end of the day, we found the head and we restored the head back. And the statue is going to be displayed in the new Grand Museum. One of my babies will be in the new Grand Museum. That's it. That's it. National guys. Are you happy with this discovery? They said yes, but not enough for a big movie. So I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sands. We moved the sands for another week. We found a shaft. It's about 4 meters deep. At the bottom we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber we found 2 wooden coffins. I asked them, they said no, we keep digging more. We found another shaft, it's about 6 meters deep. At the bottom we found a burial chamber. Inside the burial chamber we found 4 wooden coffins with mummies. I asked them, they said no, we keep digging more. We found a third shaft, it's about 10 meters deep. At the bottom we found a burial chamber with 5 wooden coffins. I asked them, they said no. Come on, I'm an archaeologist, I'm not a magician. So they said it's not enough for a big more. So I told the workers, we have to move the work from 200 meters south. We moved the work for 200 meters and we'll start to dig. We found a deep shaft, it's about 15 meters deep. At the bottom we found a huge burial chamber with scattered rock, full of sands. It's about 7 by 7 meters square. We spent a month to clean the sands from the chamber, and guess what? It was empty, nothing there. But the back wall was broken and there's a hole. So we cleaned the hole, we found another burial chamber with scattered rock, full of sands. We cleaned the sands, we found a third burial chamber full of sands. We cleaned the sands, we found nothing. But the back wall was broken and there's a hole. We cleaned the hole, we found a sealed door. A fourth burial chamber with a sealed door. And I was happy because a sealed door, it means there's something there. So we did open the door and guess what? We found 2,000 skeletons. 2,000 skeletons. One of the skeletons for a child, about 6 years old. And beside the skeleton, we found a wooden mask. So the skeleton and the mask will be displayed in the new Grand Museum. I asked it, National Geographic guys, are you happy with the discovery? They said yes, but still not enough. I told the workers, keep digging, keep moving more sand. So we moved the sand for another 2 months. We found a very good shaft. It's about 20 meters deep. It was cut in a vertical way. At the bottom, we found a tunnel. It's about 100 meters. We cleaned the tunnel, we found a second tunnel. It's about 200 meters. We cleaned the second tunnel, we found the third, fourth, fifth. It was a a maze, a labyrinth, about 1,000 meters of tunnels. And we cleaned all the tunnels. We found a hidden burial chamber, and the door was sealed from outside. We did open the door. We found a chamber full of sands. We cleaned all the sands. Nothing. Come on, how come? If you have a sealed door, it means you're supposed to be there. So I told the workers, everybody has to get a brush last week, and we have to clean the floor of the chamber. And we did clean the floor for 3 days. In the middle, exactly in the middle of the chamber, we found a hidden shaft. It's about 4 meters deep. At the bottom, we found a hidden burial chamber, and the door was sealed. We did open the door. It was so dark. And I saw something shining in the dark. And, oh my gosh, something is coming up. I told the workers, moving on the blocks. We went inside, we found a wooden coffin. And inside the coffin, we found a mummy. And beside the mummy from outside, for the first time, we found remains of golden cover of the nails. Remains of golden cover of the nails. This before the king Tut by more than 1,500 years. So I asked the National Geographic guys, are you happy with this discovery? They said yes. And we had the move, it's called the lost tomb of the pyramids finally. Yes. You are greedy, right? That's it? No! In 2019, around the Great Pyramid, I was guiding American First Lady, Millennia. She's asking me a question, who were the builders of the pyramids? Aliens? Atlantis people? By the way, I was shooting with Mr. Beast. If you don't know, you know. No, I was with Mr. Beast, and they asked me the same question also. Who were the builders of the pyramids? Aliens? Atlantis people? With outer space? I told him we have in all of Egypt 124 pyramids until today, because this guy has something else. So we have 124 pyramids until today. So each time I'm
1, 2, 6.
So each time I'm calling the space or the aliens come to build the pyramid for me, it cannot be like this. In 1990, American tourist was riding a horse in the desert behind the Sphinx, and the leg of the horse fall down in a hole. That's what we did. We did excavation. We just removed the sands. We found the workers' tombs, the builders of the pyramid tombs. How we could know? Those tombs for the builders. We found their names and their titles. We did discover the first tomb. It was with the chief of the workers. He was married 2 wives and he got 18 kids. He's a guy. 2 wives and 18 kids for the chief of the workers. And between the workers' tombs, we found a tomb for a doctor. Oh my gosh, 4,600 years. We had a tomb for a doctor. Some people said building a pyramid by slaves. So, if we had the slaves, why with the doctor to treat them? You can throw away and bring more and more slaves. They weren't slaves. They were workers, and we give them salaries, but we don't have money in this early time. So what kind of salaries? We give them beer, bread, and salted fish as a salary. And this doctor, he did a brain surgery. 4,600 years. We had a brain surgery, and we could know. We found the skull of the worker, and there's a hole in the skull. And the son of the workers couldn't believe it. His father told him, he mentioned that his father lived after the surgery 3 years. I'm always saying in my lectures, if you can build a pyramid, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can do anything. Anything. Even a brain surgery? Even brain surgery. Yes. We keep digging, moving more sands between the workers' tombs. We found a tomb for a dwarf, a little guy. We have 2 kinds of dwarfs, Egyptian dwarfs, and the black dwarfs came from the south of Egypt and from Sudan. And there's 2 jobs for the dwarfs. The first job for entertainment, and who's the workers? To bring water were workers. The second job, it was for goldsmiths. A goldsmith, why? Because dwarves have little fingers, will be perfect in making earrings or necklaces. Dwarves have little legs. If they took the gold and run away, we can arrest them. There's no way to steal our gold. Smart reason. So we keep digging, moving the sand between the workers' tombs. We found a tomb for a guy, his name Neferses. This guy who is married 2 wives, plus a girlfriend. How do we know? We found in his tomb 4 false doors. The first false door, it was for the guy himself, Neferses. The second false door for the first wife. The third false door for the second wife. The fourth false door, it was for the girlfriend. And we found her name and her title. She was called Metret. From Metret, we had mistress. If you can build a pyramid, you can do anything. You can be a mistress. You can do anything. So we keep digging, moving more sands. Between the workers' tombs, we found a tomb for a guy's name is Petiti. The facade of his tomb, it was inscribed. It was what we called a curse inscription. It's some spells. It says, if you are going to steal my tomb, the snake will bite you, the lion will eat you, the alligator will attack you. He believed by magic spells will come true and will be as a real guardians and will protect and secure his tomb from robbers. Guess what? The tomb was robbed. It means the spells didn't work. Yes. That's it? No. Inside my lovely pyramid, the great pyramid Khufu, 20 years ago, with National Geographic, we found in the second chamber 2 tunnels, one for the north, one for the south. In the southern tunnel, we prepared advanced robot and we inserted 8 cameras and we let this robot go inside this tiny tunnel to explore what will be there. After 60 meters, 200 feet, guess what? We found a small door with 2 hands of copper. Oh my gosh, a door with handles. What will be there? Everybody gets so excited to know what's behind the door. So what we did, we made a small drill in a live show and we sent a camera to investigate what behind the door. Guess what? We found another door. Everybody in this time was laughing, shocked. But I told them, I do believe there is something there. If you got many doors, it means you try to hide something away from robbers. I do believe there's a hidden chamber. In this time, nobody believed me. But I told them I do believe there's something there. Few years ago, like 5 years ago, we have Egyptian, Canadian, Japanese, German mission did a scan to the pyramid from inside. And they found above the grand gallery a void, a space about 30 meters. So I told them I do believe this space, it's another grand gallery. Because the existed one, it's just a fake, false, to deceive the robbers. Because I do not believe the existed burial chamber nowadays, it was the chamber for the king. No, it just to deceive the robbers. You know, a few months ago, you see the main entrance, it's a corporate ceiling. We found a hole, we sent endoscope. And the endoscope went inside and discovered for the first time a new tunnel. It's about 9 meters long, 2 meters high. So I told them I do believe this new tunnel should lead to the void, the grand gallery, and behind the void it should be another chamber. So the head of the mission a month ago, he called me, I said, you are a genius because we found behind the void a hidden chamber. So I told them I do believe the mummy treasures of Khufu is still hidden somewhere inside the pyramid, waiting for us to uncover it. Many secrets, many discoveries will be revealed inside the Great Pyramid. So keep watching, tracking us, because we're going to announce many big discoveries inside the Great Pyramid. And don't ever forget my slogan. If you can build a pyramid, you can do anything. You can do anything. It was a pleasure for me to be with you on this microphone. I hope you enjoyed it a lot.